Talking to a new friend. This is Candace, and you're not going to believe this. This is the craziest thing. I want to show you. I was just driving down the road through typical Milton, Florida. You can see this is a Circle K gas station, and there we are, Circle K, and all of a sudden it looks like they're about to set up a rodeo or something. I don't know. But anyway, my new friend Candace, she's really cool. She has an interesting story. And I'm going to let her talk and tell her story, and it's just amazing. I love it. But if you don't mind, Candace, can you just turn around so I can see the back of your shirt and let the viewers, if they want to, are you on Facebook or anything like that?
Yep, I'm on Facebook and on Google.
Okay, you can turn around now. So you're not talking through the trailer.
Yep, you can find me on Facebook. You can Google search me. My business is Believe the Journey Horse Services.
Okay.
So a little bit about myself. I didn't grow up with horses, but it was such a passion of mine ever since I was a little girl. And I actually grew up locally right here from Blackwater.
Okay.
So I didn't go very far from home. And so growing up, when I first got my first horse, he wasn't trained, so I had to learn a lot from the ground up. And then a couple years into it, as I started mastering that skill, more horses started coming to me. A lot of them were rescue based. For instance, my second horse here was a rescue mare that would have been shot if it wasn't for me. So pretty much that's kind of how my story went. Throughout my teenage years, I worked at different barns. I had my own horses. I was rescuing, I was rehabbing, and I was going to college. I thought I wanted to be an equine vet growing up, but once I got into the vet world, I realized that even though that was a great career path, and I still support the vet world as much as possible, I just knew that that wasn't the journey in my heart. So a couple years into it, after I moved all the way up to the hospital management position, I chose to make a difference. You know, I knew there was something in my heart that I needed to spread the love for the horses and what I do. And I needed to get back to my roots. I needed to get back to Blackwater. So at Loretta Lynn's ranch, actually, I was there for a vacation, and I just felt it in my heart that I needed to come home and ride horses and teach people how to ride and let them go trail riding with me and see the nature and how magical that experience is. And it's brought a lot of peace, it's brought a lot of friendship, and it's brought a lot more horses into my life that I never thought was imaginable.
Nice. That's really cool. Man, I have so many questions. So you may have said this and I just wasn't listening correctly, but how many horses do you have?
So I currently have 12 horses of my own.
Cool. That's cool. Are they rescue horses or?
Yeah, 90% of my horses came out of a situation, whether it was a starvation case, a neglect case. I have one right now at the house. It looks like somebody threw some chemical burns on her. She's missing half her ears. She's pretty messed up. And then a lot of people don't realize the emotional side of horses. So I try to teach that importance. And I don't necessarily call it training when I'm working with horses. I call it communication.
Right.
Because that's what it is. You know, you build that relationship on that horse and you communicate well with that horse, and that horse will pretty much do anything that you want that horse to do.
Okay.
As long as you build that respectful relationship.
Okay. Let me ask you this. I don't know, about 6 weeks or so, I was out in the Blackwater Forest, and I came upon a recreation area called Coldwater Equine Recreation.
Coldwater Horse Stables?
Yes. It's like, can you tell me anything about that? That, like, I just did a drive-through. I didn't stay there. I liked it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm by myself traveling. I freak out when I don't have cell phone reception because I can't watch YouTube. But I thought that would be so cool if I could get a friend to go out there. Just tell me a little bit of your thoughts about that.
Yeah, so that, again, going back into my hometown, Blackwater, yes, that's called Coldwater Recreational Area, and it is our horse campground in our area. So they have 70 miles of designated horse trails in that area, and it goes all through Blackwater Forest. So Blackwater is actually 600,000 acres. It's the largest state forest in Florida.
You know, it's so weird because I was talking about doing research on that, and a friend of mine did research on that, and he had a number that was like through Google or something, and it was like 280,000 or something. And I kept thinking to myself, it's got to be larger than that, because just based on my travels and so you're saying 600,000
acres is the research research that I've done on it.
That sounds more realistic to me, you know.
Yeah, so it's pretty phenomenal, and there's so many, and I'm an active hiker just as I am a rider, so there's so many different hiking trails. You got the Longleaf Pine Trail, I ride and I hike that trail. You got Coldwater, who's designated just for the horses, but sometimes I sneak around and hike there as well. But I mean, all of your park areas like your Bear Lake, your Hurricane Lake, your Cruel Lake, all of that is all part of Blackwater. And you got the Juniper Trail, you got Coldwater Creek, you got Blackwater River. So it's just such a fascinating area, and I feel like a lot of the locals or even, you know, cities next to us don't realize what kind of beautiful scenery that we have out there, or what kind of wildlife that we have out there. And so I do ride a lot out there because it's just such a magical place.
Right.
I mean, even this morning I got to show 2 little kids that never got to do a trail ride 4 deer, you know, out in nature, or the fox squirrel running around. You know, there's so many things that can come to light.
Oh, that's
people
awesome.
Don't have a moment to
Do you have a
in.
YouTube channel by chance?
I don't have an active YouTube channel.
Oh my gosh, so, like I would, you know, I'm not great at it, and I'll be the first one to tell you, but I think interviews like this can help you grow, and just, if you're just doing your natural passion, and you're like, finances are tight for me right now. I don't know your financial situation, but if you had a chest mount GoPro and you're on a horse just doing exactly what you described, you would be a huge success in no time at all. And so I have some friends that can steer you in the right direction. I actually have a friend that's going to be analyzing my YouTube channel, ripping me apart for all my amateurism.
Okay.
And but there's reasons for that, and we'll talk about that another time.
Yeah.
But it's crazy when you were mentioning Cruel Lake, Bear Lake, Hurricane Lake. I don't know if you've been up there since the tornadoes, but they got destroyed.
They got hammered, and part of Coldwater did too. Now there's a good horse team establishment there at Coldwater, so they actually got those horse trails back up and running within a week's time. But this weekend being out there, I could see the damage that it took, and I know that farther north got hit pretty bad.
Okay, can we walk around this side and introduce us to your babies?
So this is Willow here.
Willow.
So part of my passion, and I mean this is a long story, but I lost my grandfather, who I was spiritually connected with when I was about 4 years old. Didn't really understand death, but at the time, right after he passed away, a man came in my life named Charlie Bob Martin. He's actually local from Baghdad. He's since passed away, but he traveled across America off of his mules for 4 years. He's actually been on the Jay Leno show, and he's walked across the Golden Gate Bridge with his mule. So I met him briefly when I was a child, who kind of came back into my life as a grandfather. When I started Believe the Journey back in 2020, he showed back up in my life after years of not being around. And it kind of re-sparked that vision and that passion I had of me packing out and going, not across America, but I would like to do some pack out trips and teach people a little bit more about outdoor skills and survival skills and just being in our element. And so Willow actually was given to me right before he passed away. It was the last horse he ever got the opportunity to train. So she means a lot to me. I've had her for 2 years now, and we've had some pretty incredible adventures so far.
That's cool.
So she was not one of my rescue horses, but she means the world to me. And then if we walk farther over here, I have Bam Bam, my first experience with a baby calf. So he is a steer, which for people that don't know the difference there, a bull is an uncastrated male, and he's been castrated because it's safer for the kids to be around. And he actually came to me as a rescue. He had a hernia that drugged the ground, and they were going to use him as dog food. So I chose to end up taking him in and rehabbing him. He was 150 pounds when I first got him, and he is now 450 pounds, and he is a big old dog.
Wow, that's really cool.
So, and then I have Traveler and Mabel. Traveler here was found in a garbage bag when he was young, and Mabel was found in the woods in Blackwater.
Wow.
And they do a lot of, they're my working dogs. So they go on the trail rides with me, and they see my husband here in the back. So my husband barks, so they're trying to get to him. But
she found me in the woods.
Yeah, I found Wendy in the woods as well. So,
Her new name is your trail name's going to be Wendy Woods from now on.
Oh, okay, I like that.
Do you have a trail name, a hiking trail name, or anything?
Cowgirl Candace.
Cowgirl Candace.
Cowgirl Candace.
Oh man, that's cool. All right, so if you guys are liking this video so far, I want you all, please hashtag Cowgirl Candace.
Cowgirl Candace.
And
you can find me on TikTok.
she's in the Blackwater River Forest. And is there anything else you want to tell us? Like, what do you have future goals? Like, you want to expand your?
Yeah. So ideally, I do want to expand. Throughout this transition, this is about 4 years in the making. I've kind of came more into wanting to help people get back outdoors into nature, but also to really find and discover themselves. Trying not to get emotional on it, but I think a lot of people get lost in the rat race and the rush part of society, and we don't really get a chance to know who we really are, or we don't have the finances to believe in our passions. And so I want to just promote that you can start from the ground up. As long as you have a belief and you truly believe in it, you can make it work. But for the expansion, I have always loved out west, so eventually I'd like to make it where I have 2 businesses, one here in the south.
I'm going to veto that decision. Milton needs you.
Milton
The Blackwater River Forest needs you.
Yeah.
You're prohibited. I'm gonna call the popo and tell him you're wanted. You can't leave or something like that.
Yeah. And there's definitely a legacy I want to leave behind on Milton, because that is my hometown. But I want to just get people back outdoors. That's really and to find themselves and to believe in themselves.
Okay, so just a little more about Believe the Journey. Is that the name of your organization?
Yeah, Believe the Journey is the name of my organization.
Do you have regular clients or?
Oh yeah.
Talk about the holistic horse healing?
Yeah. So that's it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So another thing that we just started, thank you Wendy for reminding me on it, is holistic horse healing.
Wendy Woods is over here contributing. So we
to everything.
Wendy Woods,
yes.
you will own the Bloom Ranch.
And Chris is part of that journey as well. But holistic.
Chris, say hi.
That's Mark.
That's Mark.
Oh.
Yep. And
All
then
right.
Chris has got the big
over there.
All right, that's Chris. This is Mark.
Yeah. So holistic horse healing is meditation. So we do meditation at the barn,
Okay.
And we do a lot of Reiki work. And so we do just basically, again, going back into really diving deep into our feelings and letting us sit with those feelings and what resonates with us. So that is where holistic horse healing comes in.
Okay.
And then a little bit of animal communication and just getting into that spiritual side and what kind of connection you can really have to the animal world if you really are opened up to it.
Okay. Do you have?
Meditation in the barn. You sit with the horses, and the horses. When we do the guided meditation, people just connect with the horses, and there's a deeper passion and feeling when you connect with an animal and you're doing your meditation and you're just letting yourself be vulnerable around these animals. And you can tell these animals anything you want. They're not going to tell anybody else. I promise.
It's funny. I started using a new slogan. Let's check this out. This is love. This is true love right here. I think he's going to leave you for this.
When you can love an animal that sticks his tongue up his nose, it's a special bond.
That is. Yep. I've started using this slogan, when I'm out in nature and stuff like that. And I always say, I switch it up at times, but the one I've liked lately is nature can soothe your soul.
Yes.
So,
oh my gosh.
My
husband and I are opening a ranch to do forest therapy.
There you go.
So we're going to be getting.
Can I get you guys together for a little bit? So how did you guys meet?
Like Wendy said, I picked her up in the woods. So I was actually at Coldwater Horse Stables. But she is originally from New Jersey, and their plan was to travel in their RV across country. And then she came to Florida, Milton, Florida, and
fell in love.
And how she chose to.
You made a wrong
ranch.
turn like me, right? And you're stuck here.
It's the best wrong turn we have ever made.
Let me ask
we
you.
were planning to do Route 66. We're supposed to be on Route 66 right now, but now we're waiting for settlement on our house. And we're going to have an Airbnb, and our ranch is going to specifically deal with forest therapy, guided meditation, Reiki. Earthing is a big, big thing. People don't realize that your connection with the earth is so tight.
All right, well, that's really cool. Let me ask you one quick question about Jersey. I don't know what part of Jersey you were from, but I did travel through there from time to time.
Poor thing.
And yeah, trust me, I'm going to express my feelings here shortly. But when I say that in humor.
I grew up in Philadelphia, just 5 minutes outside of New Jersey.
Okay.
And my husband lives in Maple Shade, New Jersey, and that's where we met and connected, and he's the best thing that ever happened to me.
All right.
And now he's in forest therapy school. I never imagined.
I'm from Wilmington, Delaware, so I know exactly where you're from.
Okay.
So did you ever explore or venture out into the New Jersey Pine Barrens?
Yes.
That's a crazy place out there.
Yes, it is.
Like what do they call that? The what they call it?
Jersey Devil?
Yeah, the Jersey Devil. I've seen videos.
Jersey Devil is like Sasquatch.
Yeah, it's like it just
It's
blows.
their version of it.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is really cool. I appreciate you guys talking to me. This is so weird.
You.
I've done quite a few videos today. None of them have been uploaded or released yet, but I feel like this is probably going to be my most successful and enjoyable one.
Well, we appreciate
See,
it.
I hooked you up with the right person.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
All right. One more time. So, hashtag
Cowgirl Candace.
Cowgirl Candace.
Yeah.
The Bloom Ranch, Bloome.
All right.
Bloom Ranch.
All right. Hashtag Wendy Woods.
Wendy Woods. I guess we're gonna have to figure that one out.
So we're gonna work on it, and
Work on that.
and this is hashtag Mild Mark over here.
Wow, Mark, yeah.
So we're gonna chill out, and I love the pups. The pups are smart. They're staying in the shade.
Yeah, they are smart.
All right, so we're gonna close out this video. You guys, just if you have any closing statements you want to make, like just in general, like about your future or any pep talk to. And that food looks good up there. I'm trying to get to that barbecue place, and I'm like, but
So one of my logos is "Life's a journey, enjoy the ride."
like the journey and
Life is a journey, enjoy the ride.
oh, that's really cool. That's great.
Yep.
And how about you, Wendy Woods?
Those who wander are not lost.
Exactly. That's great. I've seen that on Jeeps and a lot.
Yeah.
I love that.
If you find me wandering, I might be lost, but I'll find my way.
Exactly.
Never give up.
I appreciate you guys so much. This is so cool. I just like Willow. What was the other fellow's name?
Bam Bam.
Willow and Bam Bam. There you go. This is it.
Little Brahma.
Milton, Florida. You never know what you're going to run into at a convenience store.
Yeah.
And there's another gentleman we're going to talk to over here, and we're going to do that in a separate video. But there's horse droppings all over the place, and you know I'm going to get back to my roots and shovel up some of that doo-doo. Talk to you guys next time.